That's where you guys at, man. I was looking for y'all, man. Look, welcome back to the show. Another RTSTM, baby. Out here loving life, man. Enjoying this beautiful weather, baby. Throwing that great energy back to you. Let's get into the show. In other news, so they have to redefine the Medusa jellyfish. So it's got some different characteristics than the normal jellyfish, right? Let's jump into that article.
Science Alert News by Mike McCrae, dated April 22nd, 2022. Distinctive new species of crowned Medusa makes experts reevaluate jellyfish royalty. In spite of years of research on various examples of deep sea crown jelly, known as a tola, the genetic confirmation of a new species is now prompting biologists to redefine at least one of the genus's key characteristics, or perhaps create an entirely new genus. Now, I don't know if you guys like jellyfish the way that I do, but I find jellyfish to be quite spectacular. They're, 90% water? They don't even have a brain for most of the part, and they know how to sting the hell out of you if you get wrong. Hell, that's better than a whole lot of these shaky-ass human beings, if you ask me. I just thought that story was quite interesting. It almost falls into in a scientific category, but at the same time, it's got a little touch of ridiculousness that I like. Let's go ahead and move on to the next story.
I'm gonna whisper on in here like some smoke. Woo! Okay, let's get serious. Now, I know a lot of us, man, we like to vape, right? We like to smoke our little peace pipe and everything. It ain't gonna bother nobody. And guys, don't get mad at me for bringing you this news, but I give a damn about your health, so I gotta bring you this news, and it's just what it is, all right?
Now look here. It says, vaping alters inflammatory state of brain, meaning it adds inflammation to the brain. It also adds inflammation to the heart, to the lungs, and to the colon. Summary of the story.
Daily vaping of pod-based e-cigarettes alters inflammatory states across multiple organs, including the brain. The effects vary depending upon the vape flavors and influence how the body responds to infections. Mint vapes, for example, leave people more sensitive to the effects of bacterial pneumonia than mango flavor. Researchers at the University of California, San Diego School of Medicine report that daily use of pod-based e-cigarettes alters the inflammatory state across multiple organ systems, including the brain, heart, lungs, and colon. Effects also vary depending on the e-cigarette's flavor and can influence how organs respond to infections such as SARS or that cold
beast stuff. We ain't gonna even say the words. The study, published April 12, 2022 in the journal eLife, is the first to assess JUUL, that's JUUL, devices and their flavorants in a multi-organ fashion. Now, the story continues to say this, and I think this is very important, man. We got to stop smoking and doing all this old crazy stuff to our bodies, man. Okay, your body is your temple, all right?
Anyways, these pod-based e-cigarettes have only become popular in the last 5 or so years, so we don't know how much about the long-term effects on health, said senior study author Laura Crody Alexander, MD, associate professor of medicine at UC San Diego School of Medicine and section chief of pulmonary critical care at Veterans Affairs San Diego Healthcare Systems. More than 12 million adults in the United States currently use e-cigarettes, with the highest rates of use among those 18 to 24. Despite their popularity, research on e-cigarettes has been largely limited to studies of short-term use, older devices such as vape pens or box mods and e-liquids. Now, I've been guilty of smoking cigarettes. I've been guilty of smoking vapors and all of that other stuff, right? I'm guilty of doing things that's gonna hurt my body just like you, right? Because we all human. Now, it ain't to call nobody out on nothing. What it is all for is to bring awareness to the situation, because I done did wrong just like you have, man. We don't have to continue to do wrong when we know better. When you know better, you have a choice to either do better or ignore your own degradation. You're gonna go ahead and spiral all the way down. You can ignore that, but it's still gonna happen anyway. We do not have to compound our problems. Let's go ahead and move on to the next story. I just thought this whole vaping situation, man, I haven't vaped in a long time. I really haven't. I still do smoke the occasional cigarette, you know, when I get stressed out and everything. It is what it is. But God's still working on me. I ain't never claimed to be no saint. Damn sure don't want to be. All right. Last time I checked, man, I don't know, man. Heaven sound kind of boring. I don't know. But I damn sure don't want to go to hell either. So it's got to be somewhere better.
All right, guys. So apparently, the Guinness Book of World Records has went ahead and made it official that the world's oldest dog is still alive.
And it's a Chihuahua. And his name is Toby Keith. The world's oldest living dog, a Chihuahua named Toby Keith, breaks Guinness World Record by Asher C. Gilbert on April 20th, 2022, USA Today news article. Now, if this ain't the most ridiculous feel-good story, I just had to bring this to y'all, man. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment, baby, because I got a whole lot more stories to bring to y'all, man. And we just scratching the surface, baby. Let's get into the next story.
Metaverse company to offer immortality through live forever mode. Okay?
This is just another branch off of all that transhumanism. That video I made. If you haven't seen it, go back and check out transhumanism. Now, anyways, Simonium Space is developing a way for people to talk to their loved ones even after they die. Okay? All it requires is massive amounts of personal data to be collected on that person while they're alive. And then the system can transpose all that data on top of each other and then simulate your dead loved one. Okay?
Let's go on more into the story. Almost 5 years ago, RTSTM's father was diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer. Sorry about your father, man. Which would ultimately kill him within a few years.
The news of his father's illness devastated Shakov. It kind of hit me that the time I had with him was limited. He told me last week. At the time, Shakov's children were just a few years old, and it pained him to think that they might grow up without a memory of their grandfather. In those memories, he started to wonder if there was some way in which his children might be able to have a conversation with their grandfather, even after he was gone. Shakov is the CEO and founder of Somium Space, one of the many versions of the Metaverse that have sprouted up in many recent years.